Hi, so this video is for anybody who is done with survival relationships, who are ready to get into and be in a relationship or transform their current relationship into one that is not just healing, but thriving in love, you and your partner, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And so I'm going to break it down in 4 simple steps. And this doesn't mean these are the only things that you can do. I'm just sharing these as my own journey. These have been probably the 4 real main ones that have made a very big difference for myself and my beloved. So the first one is to create a safe space. And what that means is, so firstly, having the understanding, if anybody's heard of Gabor Mate, what he says as children we need is to be authentic and to stay connected. But most children end up having to forego their authenticity in order to stay connected to their parent giver. And what happens is when we go into relationships, then we do the same. We forego our authenticity so that we can stay connected with our partner. But this is not good, because it means that our partner doesn't get to see all of us and to experience all of us. And so in what can usually happen is one person can get triggered. So if your partner, your divine masculine, if he gets triggered and then you get triggered, so you've now taken away that safe space for him to be authentic and to show who he is. And so holding a safe space for the other, okay, first you need to be in the right place. You need to be able to know that the trigger has got nothing to do with you. It is simply the wounded child inside your partner. That's all it is. And you are dealing with this wounded child. So create the space for that child. Listen to them without needing to respond. Just hear what they have to say. Allow them to be vulnerable. And allowing them to be vulnerable means so that they are safe, that they know that they're not going to feel attacked, that their partner's not going to get triggered, and that they're not going to be judged for whatever it is, whatever truth it is that they want to share with you. And so creating space, I think, is so, well, safe space is so underestimated, because so many men are taught to not show their emotions, not express them, to keep them in, to deal with it. And although that is part of the masculine energy of dealing with things more themselves, it doesn't mean that they shouldn't share at all. You know, those sayings like a problem shared, a problem halved is there for a reason. And our divine masculine or feminine, knowing that they can come to their partners and that they can truly be seen, be accepted, supported, safe, not judged. The partner's not going to be triggered. These are the things that will allow them to be themselves fully in your sacred space. So number 2 is heal. For you to heal, because we can't just expect our partners to do all the work. We must also do the work. There are 2 people, sometimes more, but often there's 2 people in a relationship. And what that means is, yes, one of them can do the work and bring the other with them, but actually it really is important for both of us. And even if your partner isn't doing the work and you are the one doing the work, simply you showing up, doing the work, doing your healing, they will start to realize that they're either going to have to come along with you or they're going to have to lose you. But also, when I say doing the work, doing your healing, what that looks like, well, firstly, what it doesn't look like is just showing up at, like, I don't know, healing conscious festivals, seminars, workshops, sound baths, yoga, you know, reading all the books, listening to the podcasts. That is not doing the work. That is part of it, but that is all here. That's not in the body. So what doing the work looks like, so for me, when I did the work, was when I was triggered and I wanted to go, I would have to stay, even though every fiber of my being, I mean, the first time my whole body was just like all this energy flooding it, and I just wanted to go, but I've made myself stay. And now that's been, I think that's been maybe 5 years, but no, six years from the first time of doing that. And so now it's so much easier. I mean, it's just not really work at all. But that first time, and those times like those times after that, in the first year or two, like my whole body was like, it was in fight or flight mode. And so know that doing the work, the actual work, means if you tend to cling and you are an anxious person and you want to hold and squeeze, no, you take a step back and you let them go. And you're quiet and you sit with that emotion and you be with yourself. If you are the type of person that's avoidant and you want to go, then what you do is you stay. Like I did, you make yourself stay. So doing the work is whatever the things are that come up for you, you do the opposite to what it is that you've always done. And that means all of these things that you are learning from all these different sources, you're not just theorizing them, you are embodying them. And this is how we can create the new neural pathways, but it's also how we can heal the cellular memory of the body from all the things that we've always done before. And just by doing that yourself, doing that healing work, showing up for yourself, shows your partner a healthier way and a more thriving way in love. And so number 3 is space. So not as in a safe space, but allowing for space. So we all have, I can't remember the books, I read it years and years ago, but we all have different love tanks. So we have one for our family, our friends, ourselves, our children, our partner. And what a lot of people tend to do is they start to just fill up the love tank with their partner and not go out so much. Or if they do go out so much, maybe their partner gets triggered or upset. Oh, you don't want to be with me? Why don't you want to be with me? You seen them last weekend. You seen this person. You seen your family. You've already seen them all week. And they start to make it about them. But it's not about them and it's not about you. It's about your partner needing to fill up their other love tanks. And if your partner just wants to be on their own, to do nothing, like they don't need to have a reason of why they want to be on their own. They don't have to even have anything to do. And when we make it about us, you know, and you are saying, oh, why don't you want to be with me? Is it something that I've done? Are you okay? You're completely, but in some ways it's a bit selfish because because it isn't about you. It is about what your partner needs. And your partner needs to be able to have space away from you, with friends, with his family or hers, you know, on their own. They need to be able to have that, but they need to be able to have that without fear of their partner being triggered or upset because they don't want to be with them. And even if you've only seen each other once and you haven't seen each other for a week, you know, you have to, I mean, firstly, knowing what your boundaries are in a relationship and how much time and not is okay with you. But also it is about give and take. It is about finding a win-win, not a compromise. I'm not into compromises where one person, you know, you both have to kind of bend. No, it's about finding a win-win for both of you. But in the sense of space, you know, it is about making sure, like my partner and I, we discuss space as when you listen to a piece of music and you have the space in between the music, it's actually sometimes that gap within the music that builds the momentum, that builds the, like, up to the crescendo when you're getting really excited and it's like, oh, what's going to be, you know, or in the films of the fear, you know, when you've got that space and it builds up. They are so important within music and within love, to have that space. And all the relationship experts books will tell you that space is needed because it creates missing. So it's not even just about your partner filling up their love tank. It is also about having that space to create desire, to create missing, yearning, longing, wanting. Okay, so that's number 3. And so number 4 is to grow, to encourage your divine masculine or feminine to grow individually and in a partnership. And why this is important on so many levels is, firstly, is people become stagnant in their relationships when they are not learning, when they are not growing. And so when people aren't learning and growing and they become stagnant, well, what is there to be curious about with one another? And you stop asking questions. You know, when people first meet, they're always asking questions, always curious, always wanting to learn about their partner. But if you allow your partner to keep growing and you encourage their growth in whatever area it is that they want to do, whether it's a new hobby or a new topic or going back to college or whatever it is, it creates more interest and curiosity that you can understand about them. Oh, what makes you want to do that? Where's that place coming from? How do you feel when you engaging that? What is the outcome from that? You know, there's so many things that you can learn about your partner from that. And so when you are encouraging growth individually and as a couple, then you are continuing to allow that space of, like, I don't know you and I want to know you and I'm curious about you and I want to know what drives you. And you create or allow for that to continue, because, you know, if you get to the point in your relationship where neither of you are growing and there's nothing to be curious about, and you're just repeating the same loop over and over again, it's such a disservice to one another. You know, we wouldn't want to have children and for them to just stop developing and growing at any time. We want them to keep learning, to keep growing. And it's the same with our partners. You know, we should want the best for them. And for the best for them is to grow mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, sexually. Because however they grow will always spill out positively into the relationship. And when you allow yourself to grow as well, that will also spill out. And it will just create this beautiful space between the two of you and as individuals. It's just really, I'm trying to think of something other than it's just really positive, but it is actually just really positive. You get so much more from it. You get to deepen your relationship. And the thing is, you know, when you're in a relationship, it's not about the years and the time together. It's like, how deep can you go? How much can you push each other to grow, to expand, to be fully in who they are as a person, to know who they are authentically? Like, it's like the biggest gift we can give one another, and to be able to receive and be part of that journey with another. And so if you are just so done with those survival relationships and you are ready to start healing and thriving in a relationship, you and your partner, then do these things and keep learning. And every time you learn something new, at least embody one thing. Choose one thing that you're going to do, because you're just a philosopher otherwise. And it really is, it's no good just learning. You have to put it into practice. And your soul is like reaching out to learn these things for a reason, because it's ready to grow, it's ready to expand, it's ready to connect and to find itself. So embody one thing, just do it. All right, share in the comments, what was the one thing that you are going to do? I mean, hopefully it's all of it, but if there's one specifically, share what it is, and let's help empower one another and to help each other grow, because we just need so much more love and healing between the divine masculine and the feminine. I think we are just so done with these survival relationships. Like, the new earth is already here and it's an energy, and we all can be in that energy. Just keep going, keep embodying. So much love and blessings.